Formula 1 returns to Spain for the 5th round of the 2018 season, as second of Barcelona Catalunya, which also starts off the European section of the season, and was the first real chance for the teams to bring any major amendments to their packages, or work on improving what they think is already a front-running package, as they look to build on their car throughout the season and try and get any advantage they can over their rivals in still a very early round. Williams come to this race with some all-new chassis upgrades which are hoping will reduce tyre wear on the FW40 and open up strategy options to both Robbie Kubica and Josh Tiro as races play out. Renault come to this race also now finally running a trial version of ERS, which say they'll give the French team a boost of at least 10 miles an hour in straight line speed when deployed. Sauber come to this race continuing their rapid development of the C37, with bringing some new and major downforce package, which hope they can work in conjunction with the low drag nature of their car, as this Swiss team look to fight for consistent top 10 points finishes. However, all eyes were on the two-time world champion Fernando Alonso, as he looks towards what is most likely his final race here in Spain, and the Spaniard will look to stamp his authority on his home race one final time come race day. A wet to dry qualifying session will play havoc with the qualifying order, however there will be two usual names on the back row, with Carmen Joyce starting from 20th and Adrian Sutil from 19th. Daniel Ricciardo could only manage 18th in the second of the Renaults, and Lance Stroll starting all the way down in P17, starting way out of position for what that Haas is capable of. Nico Hulkenberg makes it both Renaults out in Q1, and Daniel Kvyat will get knocked out in Q2, only managing P15. However, all the drivers that were knocked out in Q2 were provisionally at one point the top 5 during the Q2 session. Jean-Eric Vergne only managing 14th and Pascal Wehrlein 13th, but at one point both these drivers were 4th and 3rd with only a few minutes left to go in the session. Josh Tiro would also get caught out by the changing conditions to line up in 12th. Kabir Kobayashi was at one point provisionally on pole in Q2, but it slips down to 11th. Rui Harianto would weather the conditions perfectly to get McLaren's first top 10 start since Singapore 2017, and even more so for Pierre Gasly as the Frenchman lines up in 9th for Toro Rosso. Carlos Sainz would impress with a P8 at his home event, and Lewis Hamilton, the first regular of the top 10, starts from 7th. A good lap from Charles Leclerc sees the Monaco driver line up in 6th, starting once again for the second race in a row on row 3 with Sebastian Vettel, over the advantage this time going to the 5-time champion. Outstanding lap from Mick Schumacher sees the F3 champion line up in P4, starting on row 2 alongside home favourite Fernando Alonso. Max Verstappen would just miss out on the all-important pole position, leaving the honours to go to Robbie Kubica and make it 5 for 5 for pole positions for Williams so far this season. Hey guys, Taro here. Welcome back to another round of the Uni 1 career, this time round 5 for the Spanish Grand Prix, with a hectic qualifying session which saw wets, then inters and then dries by the end, but of course we didn't get to take part in that. But so all the top 10 was like they're going to be starting whatever tyres they choose, because it was a qualifying for Q2 was wet, so you can start whatever tyres you want. And Robbie Kubica taking that all-important pole position since we're down in P12. Also Fernando Alonso starting from P3, what can he do? Looking towards a possible victory here at his final time possibly. And also Mick Schumacher with an excellent lap to start from P4, of course. A BMW Junior driver is going to win in press here, starting ahead of us, and with Lance Stroll starting down in P17, it's a real chance to shine here for Mick Schumacher. Also, what about the two Toro Rosso starting from 8th and 9th? An incredible starting for them. I mean, you got it there from the conditions, but still, they really have to do some great teamwork here if they want to try to hold on to these places, because those Toro Rosso Hondas and of course the McLaren and Harianto should definitely not be inside the top 10 under regular conditions. Now then, we're starting all the way down in P12. I think we started from P12 last year as well. We finished that race about 5th or 6th, so the pace is definitely here in the Williams around, at least around this track anyway. And they're lining up in our P12 slot. We've also got us, Kobayashi, then you've got Wehrlein, Vergne, and then Kvyat. We're all top 5 in Q2, so we've all got some mega pace here. Now we're going to try and make our way through these back market cars as quick as possible. Let's lights out, and away we go now for the Spanish Grand Prix. Looks like a pretty even start with everyone up in front. And then kind of just the run now down into one. So he gets like Kobayashi getting a bit aggressive there off the start line, along the side with the two Toro Rosso, like window braking now into Tomashi going side by side now with Johnny Vega trying to make a dive up the inside, going 3 wide also as well. With Daniel Kvyat, going to see be 3 wide now. Round 10 is like going to try and sweep it right around the outside, just using all of the track in this. So it's about keeping 2 wheels on the track, so making a double overtake there, back around the outside of Vergne Kvyat, because they're trying to make a way up our inside. As you come now into turn 4, already looking in the back now, we've got Harianto have to go defensive from the Mercedes there. Pascal Wehrlein's like Harry Hunter's not had a good start. It looks like he's down a few places now. Trying to go around the outside of Wehrlein. Can try it around the outside of turn 5. Wehrlein just managed to squeeze his way back up the inside. Of course, back in the 2016 Grand Prix, we had some mega speed off that turn 5. Just found some great traction back in the 2016 Williams. And of course, as to date, our one and only championship here. As we come now through the second sector, this is where we need to try and keep close to Pascal Wehrlein. You've got like the two Toro Rossos actually going side by side up in front. This is not what the Toro Rossos need to be doing. Imagine Franz Tost is going mental now on the pit wall with his two drivers fighting when they need to try and keep themselves in the point place. It's going to be side by side. It's like Carlos Sainz is just getting to the front of the pit. He's going to try and look for make contact between the two series, and he's going to try and stick up the inside line. But then Sainz on the racing line just managed to get the power down. Of course, Sainz here is under pressure to perform in his third and final season with Toro Rosso. And with options looking limited for next season, of course, it's his home Grand Prix as well. So I think as Nigel Mansell said that the home crowd gives an extra second per lap, and it looks like Sainz definitely needs all the help he can get to try and fend off his teammate here, Pierre Gasly. Now coming on the run, down to turn will be pretty even. Of course, no DRS yet. That won't be activated until the third lap. And now one side's going defensive, just parks it in the middle of the track. So Gasly's got nowhere to go. Tries to look up the inside, but there's just no way through there for the Frenchman on his teammate. And actually now it looks like you've got Kobayashi there in the Toyota behind, so Kobayashi's managed to make a move on Haryanto, and also kept ahead of Pascal Wehrlein. Now we got Haryanto from us, so Haryanto has been overtaken by Pascal Wehrlein, I imagine, down the straight, because that McLaren Renault is, even with ERS now, it's still going to be the fastest thing in the world. Coming now into turn 5, you just have to be patient here, and definitely not close enough to even try and make a move up the inside of Haryanto, because as it stands, he's still in the points places, so he's still going to put up one massive fight to try and hold on to that point, because any point could be crucial. And you took 2 back at China, and a big huge tank top on there, so it's definitely not working in the dirt here. This Williams is definitely designed to work at the front of the grid, so us being down here in P13, albeit the weather put us down here, is definitely not where you want to be. Still gaining though on the back of Haryanto, coming now into braking those, a pedal there through the second sector, but that is actually representative since all the cars in front of us have also already gone through the second sector. Still, despite me stuck here behind the McLaren Renault and then effectively up in front of the two Toro Rosso leading this train of cars, we're still finding some pretty good pace. He's coming now into final corner chicane, which I still think would be a lot better if we just had the old final corner, which is run right around the outside. Our teammate Robbie Kubica put up the first lap of the Grand Prix, but that's not really surprising since Kubica is still out front leading the race. I think it'll be on the run down the street now. It's going to be upgraded Renault power in the back of that McLaren versus just pure BMW power, because still it's all to be about ERS now and engine mode. Coming down now into turn 1, Harrington's going defensive to the inside line. Coming now into turn 1, Harrington's going to try and hold it on the inside line, trying to sweep around the outside of the McLaren, and Harrington just runs out wide. Actually, oh, a huge contact there. Down the clear, pretty much just two of them just banging wheels there, both lucky to get away without any damage there, or at least any serious damage. Didn't see any parts of the cars for life, but Kvyat sticks it around the outside though. Over here, Haryanto. Looking here from these camera shots, I can't really see any damage on either of the two cars, so maybe it might be a bit of minor damage, but still looking from the suspension or the steering is definitely not going to be tweaked after that. Moving a bit further on, Kobayashi now gaining on the back though of one of the Tauruses, coming now into, we're going to try and go around the outside now on the Pierre Gasly. I'm pretty sure this still is going to try and hold it around the outside, which will then turn to the inside for the next corner, and he's still sticking around the outside line, which will turn to the inside now. But I think Kobayashi's going to have to try and go the long way now, right around the outside. He's going to stick around the outside. Toyota got some great downforce on you now. We did a great package at the board, that's right, and Gasly's still holding up the inside line going now into turn 4. And we've got Kobayashi trying to hold it now around the outside line. Green now, still keeping his side by side now into turn 5. Kobayashi with the inside line. There's a bit of a lock up there, and he hits into the side there. Up here goes, it's pretty much the Kobayashi name returns, and still going side by side. But he goes side by side now for half a lap. It's amazing. Just what will to fight in Pierre Gasly in the slowest car here. He's not going with his fight. I mean, he needs to fight like his life depends on it, and like his Red Bull career depends on it as well. He's still trying to go side by side now with Kamui Kobayashi. Coming now into braking now, open to the third side of Kobayashi once again with another huge lock up there, trying to keep it side by side now with the Taurus. I mean, I'm sure Kobayashi getting a bit flustered now. Can you imagine he wouldn't have to be fighting a Taurus though? Now Gasly can do this side, but Kobayashi can have a brilliant switchback line. You can keep it side by side now up the inside. Kobayashi in the faster car, but Gasly on the racing line is still going to be side by side now into the final corner chicane. Kobayashi has it up the inside line. And then Gasly comes to fight back now, turns up to the inside, but then to the outside. This corner's around now, around the second to last corner now, coming up now to the final corner, and Kobayashi has finally cleared Pierre Gasly. But now it's going to be about the run now down the straight, and Honda isn't the fastest thing in the straight line, and she's going to pull back down inside the Kobayashi. It's like VTEC's finally kicked in. Pierre Gasly, they've got this whole mountain of cars here behind the Pierre Gasly Kobayashi. Gasly actually managed to get his way back past Kobayashi, and now again, so we actually just cleared 3 cars. We just made a massive 3-car overtake there into turn 1. We managed to get past Gasly as well, just all over the road. I imagine not seeing Williams shooting past him. Now he's got Pascal Wehrlein to from Kobayashi. He's come back. He's lost 3 places down the straight now. As Gasly goes there, very aggressive defending. We'll see for Pascal Wehrlein. Of course, that's in the first time those two have come to blows this season. Now then, taking a look at replay of how we just made a 3-car overtake work. See here, we're all over the gear, we're pretty much pushing Pascal Wehrlein through the final corner, with Gasly and Kobayashi slowing each other up that much. We get a bit of a pull around that final corner, taking a bit too much curb, which just downs our momentum a little bit. Now we're just getting massive toe touching. Actually, Daniel Kvyat looks like trying to have a pop back up on the inside, and we get forced over to the outside line here. And actually, we just find the gap on the inside of Kobayashi. We stick around the side. Gasly's too worried about defending from Kobayashi. Leaves the door wide open. He's going to sweep right around the outside of that Toro Rosso Honda, but he's got so much more downforce on this Williams. And we just made, I think, easily so far overtaking the season. I was definitely not expecting that. I wasn't expecting just to make any overtakes there, but if the gap appears, then I'm going to take it. Now, we're backing up front now. Back to the live action. We've got our teammate, Robbie Kubica, who's still leading the Grand Prix, so he's had a good start. Actually, he's coming right into the pit. He's coming for a very early pit stop. And Kubica's actually on a set of super soft tyres. Why is our teammate on a set of supers? I think every other car on the grid is on a set of softs. See, the pit crew weren't even ready for him, so has he got some kind of slow puncture or something? I mean, he must have to be caught in this early in the race. So you're going to another set of supers. So why is Williams' strategy here with our teammate? Have you got no sets of soft tyres left? I mean, you have to decide your tyres about, I think it's like 6 or 7 weeks in advance of turning up to the race. But still, the show you must have had some kind of soft tyres. And you've got to come out now in dead last place here behind Carmen Jordan and Adrian Stilton, but on new super soft tyres. Kubica's going to be like an absolute bullet now through these corners. Now moving on to lap 10 now, we're running out a bit wide, still going to get the best slides in the world. We're still though ahead of Pascal Wehrlein. Still, Sainz has actually kept it in front of us when we got past his teammates, so Sainz is still finding some great pace in that Toro Rosso and some needed pace as well, because he's been pretty much outshone by Gasly so far, though neither of them has still actually scored any points in these first 4 races of the season. And then we're coming in now for our first scheduled stop of the race, and we're going to be going on to another set of other soft tyres as the Williams pit crew run out there just in time for us. We turn out to our pit box pretty much at the midway point down this pit lane. We're going to another set of the soft tyres, and we should be going to a set of mediums for our second stop. Actually, you've got a car following us in as well. Looks like it's the Toro Rosso here of Pierre Gasly. We've got Gasly now going also onto a set of soft tyres as well. So it looks like me and Gasly are going here for the same strategy. And Gasly, to be fair to him, he's actually all that far behind us, so there's still points are definitely on the table, I'd say, for Toro Rosso. But now talking of Toro Rosso, we've now got Carlos Sainz in front of us, so Toro Rosso didn't split their strategy to pull it in Sainz in the next lap to keep in front of us, but I think Toro Rosso there may have made a mistake, because we're in a Williams BMW. We're easily going to clear the Toro Rosso anyway, so using Sainz to fight off us isn't really probably the best idea. We're gaining so much though on the back. Of course, Sainz of course we got an undercut as well, so Sainz's tyres will be maybe 1 or 2 laps fresher, but when it's such a faster car, we run out so wide everyone found the corner, there's not going to get any grip on the front of the car, getting a load of understeer because we're all the dirty air coming off the back of that Toro Rosso Honda in front of us. Now coming the run now down the start finish. Look how much we're gaining here on the back of that Toro Rosso. That Toro Rosso is so slow in straight line with that Honda engine. I'm going to try and go side by side now. Instead we're going to try and stick it around the outside once again. We're just going to just scoot right around the outside of Carlos Sainz, which is the same we did to Gasly, but that time it was actually 100% legit, because that Toro Rosso just hasn't got the grip and the downforce to fight us side by side through a prolonged corner. Now we can actually try and chase down now after Carmen Jordan, the McLaren runner, because Jordan is also on a set of soft tyres, and I'm pretty sure hasn't pitted yet, so I think everyone else besides me and Gasly trying to stretch out this first stint, now looking further up front now at the lead of the McLaren runners now of Rio Haryanto is actually keeping it behind one of the Works Renaults. Actually quite sure which one that is, but either way it's coming into the pits now, so this might be a one-stop strategy. It depends what tyres Haryanto goes on to. Of course that Toyota in front, which should be Kamui Kobayashi, and if any of the cars behind the quiz, I'll see if you pit crews out of the pit lane there, so I saw a Ferrari pit crew out there as well. And coming down now, still sticking here. We're trying to find actually going on to a set of the medium tyres, so it looks like McLaren are here going to try a very audacious one-stop with Rio Haryanto. And pretty much a one-stop might be the only way that the team get points. So it looks like the Sauber behind also going to a set of medium tyres, and then there goes one of the Toro Rossos. But that Toro Rosso, it's on a set of soft tyres, which it should be, because I think that's Pierre Gasly. I think Gasly's definitely on a set of soft tyres, so you may have come out here in front of this queue of cars, but Gasly is near a pit stop behind Rio Haryanto now, so it looks like if this strategy can work, it might be a masterclass for everyone trying a one-stop. And now on to lap 15, we're all over the back now. Hamilton brake checking us into the braking on the set of medium tyres, so those medium tyres really not working here on that Toyota. Which means everyone trying to one-stop here might be expecting the same thing as well. So close out the back, and Hamilton going to pull to the outside now of the 2008 World Champion. Of course, Hamilton won the previous race out at Azerbaijan, so that Toyota, it's a race-winning package. It's already proven. It's going to sweep around the outside though of Lewis Hamilton there. Really, really simple move. So those medium tyres really not getting up to temperature. On that Toyota, we've got Daniel Kvyat right up behind as well. I didn't actually quite see what tyres Daniel Kvyat's on at this point. You know, it looks like Hamilton's having absolutely making. It gets a little bit of a slide on through the mid-corner in that chicane as well. He comes out around the final corner, and Hamilton there runs out a bit wide as well. It looks like he's lost momentum. Now he goes down to Kvyat, and Kvyat's also want to say a medium tyre, so it might just be a Toyota specific issue. Like, side by side, we know that Toyota is really fast in the straight line. It's got a really good engine and some pretty good low drag as well. And Hamilton actually swings back in front of Daniel Kvyat, of course, even though with Hamilton's tyre, he's not really working as the 2008 World Champion would ideally want them to. He's still got loads of fighting, which we saw back at China as well, when he outbroke us round the outside into the hairpin towards the end of the race. Kvyat still trying to stick it right around the outside there, just flexing the chassis of that Red Bull car. He's going to drive cleanly right around the outside of Lewis Hamilton. I mean, now, I imagine that wasn't Hamilton's game plan. He probably had that corner covered, but Daniel Kvyat just showing how much downforce and how much good traction that Red Bull does have. It's just lacking a little bit of engine power. I mean, you think back to the 2005 McLaren Mercedes, that's pretty much what this Red Bull could be if it had a good enough engine in it, really. But Kvyat is absolutely on fire, as you've seen back in the last race at Azerbaijan as well. As the race goes on, Kvyat's pace just gets better and better. And Kvyat's actually getting on as well, because we're on a set of soft tyres. They've done about 6 or 7 laps now, so they're definitely past their sell-by date now. And Kvyat on fresher medium tyres as well. Definitely at this point going to be grippier tyres, even though they are harder compound of tyre. Now going through the chicane here, Kvyat's not going to have any chance of making me money. He's going to have to stay behind us through here to get nicely actually from the nose cam here of that Red Bull. Now as we come now around the final corner, Daniel Kvyat still sticking all over the back of us now. We have to go slightly defensive to the inside line. We've got the run now down the salvation lane. Kvyat actually put inside now. That DRS is working well. Imagine we've got some low drag here on that Red Bull coming down now. It's going to be side by side. It's going to keep it side by side with it. We just have to back out of the corner there. We just haven't got the grip to fight Daniel Kvyat, with our tyres now being about 6 or 7, maybe even 8 laps old now at this point. But it's like Kvyat's pace is definitely a lot better than what Hamilton's is. Now moving on to lap 19, so I feel that's further on. Daniel Kvyat just pulling away now into this, and we've still got Hamilton behind us though, so it looks like his tyres now getting up to temperature now. Actually, what can be working? Actually, no, you got a car going slowly. He's down. Daniel Kvyat going slowly. Kvyat going really slowly there on the outside of the track. What's happened to the Russian? And Hamilton just shot straight past him as well. Has he got a puncture or something? You know, you just can't script the bad luck that Kvyat's having. He won the first race of the season. He had a puncture at China, which put him out of contention, literally down in last place. He looks like he's having another issue here, because the car behind Hamilton now is actually one of the Toro Rossos here, which I think is actually Carlos Sainz, is it? Can't quite tell from that camera. It looks like it is the Toro Rosso of Carlos Sainz. So I don't know where Daniel Kvyat's gone. I don't know if he's out of the race or he's just trundling with a puncture. But now Hamilton now is actually coming back just now, because with his tyres with him going slow before, his tyres will be in bad condition. And he looks like he's just going to blast straight past us now. Coming on the run now, Daniel Kvyat, we're going to try and keep with Lewis Hamilton on the inside. We just haven't, well, like, just like with Daniel Kvyat, we just haven't got the grip now on our tyres to keep it around the outside. And Hamilton, you see, he's already pulling a gap on us. We're just getting all over the runner, pretty much like Pierre Gasly was when we got past him at the start of the race. As we come now up into stage 4, we need to try and stick with Hamilton here, because despite the Toyota being, actually the Toyota's actually a really good car, it seems to be this season, but I don't think it's quite on the pace yet of what our Williams is normally. So if we can try and keep with Hamilton here on faster tyres, I mean, I think we can use him to try and drag this along a bit and just try and pick up our pace a little bit. Because I found that I drive better if I'm following a car in front pretty closely that's actually for position, like Hamilton here. So yeah, though, you know how easily Hamilton got past us, we're actually still sticking with the 2008 World Champion as we come now into the braking now to start the third sector. Hyundai heavy braking now, although we are 1.3 seconds down, so we are keeping with Hamilton, but the pace just really isn't there anymore. As we come now through the third sector. Now we confirm to our pit crew that we'll be coming into the pits at the end of this lap, because there's no point sticking here in the direction of Hamilton. We're just going to wear out our tyres even more. And now then, coming now into the pit lane, almost taking out the bollard there, making a very late decision, even though we did confirm to our team that we were coming in. So we're coming in now for a set probably of medium tyres, but definitely no way we're going to take a set of supers now. About, is that 15, 16 laps to the end of the race? So it is going to be a set of medium tyres. So we're going to be on the same tyres now as everyone else around us. We need to get a good pit stop here from the Williams crew, do we? So yes, we do. Although we're the only ones in the pit lane. We've still got actually, I think that's Pierre Gasly coming in behind us. It's a dark blue car. I'm pretty sure there's not a Red Bull behind us, unless it's, of course it's Daniel Kvyat. But no, it is the bright blue Toro Rosso here off Pierre Gasly. Going to a set of the medium tyres. And good pit stop there also from the Toro Rosso pit crew. But Gasly still, he's actually put up a mega fight now to try and get some points. Pretty much like the same fight that we're going to have to do. Looking up front now, we've got Fernando Alonso leading what is most likely his final ever home Grand Prix. Imagine the crowd are going to be going wild for that. But also we've got Sebastian Vettel here in second place. I imagine the Tifosi are going to be quietly pleased with this as well. So it's like Ferrari find to turn the corner in their car pace. And we've got Max Verstappen here in P3, pretty much flying the flag for a ball. Now there you've got Charles Leclerc in the Sauber Ferrari, currently in an excellent P4 ahead here of Mick Schumacher in the Haas, and the Haas you'd think on paper is a much faster car than that Sauber. But Leclerc, you've just seen, he's on absolute steroids or something. So far, this Sauber upgrade is working miracles. And you have Hamilton in P6, Pascal Wehrlein down here in P7, so Wehrlein once again being quite outshone by his teammate, although he did start quite a lot further down the order, so you can't really blame it all too much on Wehrlein. This time they actually got Kamui Kobayashi here and actually doing battle now with one of the Renaults. Of course, the upgraded Renaults, which have a lot more oomph in a straight line. Like you see, he's actually gaining on the back of Toyota, and actually, if you go back to round 1 of the season, the Renault wouldn't be gaining on anything really in a straight line. And we have Hulk's teammate Daniel Ricciardo got a battle now further behind us, like the other Haas here of Stroll actually doing battle now with one of the McLarens. I just saw a flash of orange there, so I imagine that's really high out. It looks like Stroll's just going to pull in front of that McLaren. Whichever one is quick through this camera shot. I saw a blue hammer there, so that's definitely Harry Anto. And now we've got Johnny Van looking on the back now. Harry Anto getting defended to the inside line. And then we have Adrian Sutter, but actually wearing his away. We're going to just drive right around the outside of Johnny Van. He's going to completely just drive around the outside of the defending world champion like Daniel Kvyat did to Hamilton a few laps ago. And Johnny Van's really not having a great start to the season. I mean, he won back in China, but really that was just pure luck from starting in 11th place. But now then, we're all over the back though. Oh, this McLaren Renault, once again, I mean, this is pretty much getting deja vu here for Ria Harrington. I mean, you're probably thinking there's about 3 or 4 Williams in this race, so everyone's will come up to have taken that many times. And they're going to shoot right on the side. Harrington squeeze this as much as we can, but yes, taking up space now with side by side with the Indonesian and keep it side by side. I mean, he just managed to force out Harrington, actually gets a bit flustered then, runs out a bit wide himself, really. I mean, we're going to squeeze him out anyway, but he ran off the curb a bit of his own accord there. Now, the next car we can try and chase down now is after Lars Stroll. We've seen him in the past, back in 2017 at least. He's definitely been a good team player and really not held us up. But now we're already over the back now. Stroll going to pull to the inside now of the Canadian in the BMW Williams beating. Stroll going to try and hold it around the outside line and then backs out fairly quickly. I mean, good team play there from Lars Stroll. I mean, besides Mexico 2016 when he almost brake checked us into oblivion, he's definitely learnt that he needs to let the A cars through. And now I think he's still just about in the fringes of the points, and indeed he is in P12, because I'm moving all the way to lap 30. We're getting all over the curb and looking to spin out the car, but it took us this long to actually catch up to Daniel Ricciardo. If you look on the mini-map though, the gap between Stroll and Ricciardo here in front of us is actually a massive gap that we've had to catch up. So I think the 2-stop really has been the quickest strategy. It's just with how spaced out the cars have got, because actually we still haven't even seen a safety car yet this season. So I think if we had maybe a bit of divine intervention, and this strategy would have worked a lot better. We're getting on the back though of Daniel Ricciardo coming now into turn 1. Ricciardo's going to get defensive to the inside line, just part of the car in the middle of the apex. He's actually going to square the throttle now and keep his side by side, actually going to try and squeeze away on the inside. But Ricciardo there on the inside line, actually he's just parking it right on the apex there, always making contact with the back. Ricciardo's going to swab in front of us. Ricciardo getting very, very aggressive with us now, coming down to Stefan, going to dive it up the inside. Although can you imagine not having any regard for him? If he wants to play dirty, I can definitely give him dirty, and then we've definitely come off the best there. We can try and chase down now after Kamui Kobayashi. He's actually been overtaken by Hulkenberg in the Renault, so it looks like Renault finally have actually turned up to a race with a competitive car for the first time this season. I mean, it looks like they took a really different approach to the car this season than what they had in 2017. In the 2017 car, it was a decent midfield car, but it definitely wasn't up to the front running pace. So imagine there was something completely different this year, and it finally looks like it's actually working now. He's into the third sector. We're all up the back of Kamui Kobayashi. We're coming through here. It's pretty much just like a procession sector. You just have to stick behind the car in front, and there's literally nothing you can do. But actually, Ricciardo's actually catching up to the back of us once again. I actually didn't expect this. I mean, that's like Renault's really working here in the low speed. I mean, the Renault's upgrade for this weekend was ERS, so that's affected the balance of the car, because that's actual weight you can't fix. So it's like, even with the added weight, it's like the balance of the Renault is definitely a lot happier now. Ricciardo, even now deploying that newfound ERS, actually going to try and blast straight back past us. Now coming down now into turn 1, coming side by side with the Honey Badger now coming now into turn 1. Ricciardo's actually cleared us, but it's a huge lock-up from Daniel Ricciardo. We just managed to skate right back from the outside of Daniel Ricciardo. I mean, he went from like hero to zero there in about 10 seconds. He really tried to make the move, it really didn't work out for him. Now they're moving onto the end of that now, lap 32 coming up to start of the final lap of the race. We finally cleared Daniel Ricciardo now, but now we're about a second or so behind the car in front of the Kamui Kobayashi. I mean, we haven't even got a DRS down the start finish straight, so you see here about 1.3 seconds behind Kamui on the run now down into turn 1, but our tyres are so much fresher. We just have to hope that maybe Kamui or even Hulkenberg on the front just hit the cliff on this final lap of the race, and we try and get back 2 places and try and get a good recovery. Maybe there's still a P8 finish on the car just because the car up in front. Although I think it's still Pascal Wehrlein, and Wehrlein is nowhere even to be seen on the mini-map now. He's going through the middle part of the lap. Yeah, we go purple through the first sector, finding some mega pace here on this final lap. I mean, you look how much we've caught up to Kamui Kobayashi. His tyres must have reached the cliff now at this point, about halfway around that. We've gained about easily a second, or pretty much the entire gap that we were behind Kamui. Kamui's all over the place, they're taking wide lines. He just hasn't got the grip. And I tell you, we were putting 2 wheels on the grass, using all of the track and then some, just to try and find a way around the outside here of Kamui Kobayashi. Now coming now into the final section of the lap. I think Kamui might have just done enough now to stay in front of us, because there's nowhere through here, surely, that we could try and make a move on Kamui Kobayashi. He goes defensive to this Halano. He's going to compromise his line here. Now he's going to try and stick him around the outside of Kamui Kobayashi. It's been or win now, all or nothing. We're going to confirm the racing line. Kobayashi gives us a squeeze. Now side by side now into the final chicane. His contact. Kobayashi spins around. Now he just manages to keep it under control. Great car control though there from Kamui Kobayashi. He looks like he's going to go around for a complete 360. Now then, we're coming around the final corner now. Now coming on to the finish line, we're going to finish in P9, but I think that's probably the most helpful position. I mean, that's twice now we fought Kobayashi for position on the final lap, and then unfortunately both times it's not been actually for the best position in the world either. But Toto Wolff there looking very happy, and of course why wouldn't he, since Fernando Alonso, the #1 Mercedes driver, has just won his home Grand Prix, probably for the final time. He's also the 5th different winner in 5 races from 5 different teams, and it's also the 4th season in a row that Mercedes have took their first victory of the season here at the circuit, Barcelona, Catalunya. Taking a look at the end results, and Fernando Alonso would take the victory, 9 seconds clear of Sebastian Vettel, with a much improved, legitimate 2nd place for the Scuderia. And Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, in the Sauber Ferrari, completely unseen by everyone on the cameras, didn't even know this. Charles Leclerc sneaks a brilliant podium for the Swiss outfit to give them 2 podiums in the first 5 races of the season, one for him and one for his teammate Suttil. And actually he overtook Max Verstappen. Charles Leclerc, if you don't get a promotion to Ferrari next season, I don't know what you have to do at this rate. And Mick Schumacher with a great result also for the Haas to come home in P5. With Hamilton coming home in 6th, just couldn't quite get Mick Schumacher. We saw the guy only about less than half a second behind at the checkered flag, with Pascal Wehrlein finishing lead of the cars, which should have been in Q3, but not out in Q2, is 7th, and Hulkenberg with a good race to get from 16th up into 8th. And we get from 12th up into 9th, with Kobayashi running off the top 10, with Daniel Ricciardo making it a double point score for Renault. And Lance Stroll gets up from 17th to 12th, running for double point score as well for Haas. Rio Haryanto would unfortunately just miss out on points coming home in P13, but he can take some solace from beating defending world champion Jean-Eric Vergne, with had a nightmare race down where he actually started in 14th and just managed to beat the style of Adrian Sutter, who came home in 15th. Carlos Sainz and Pierre Gasly come home in 16th and 17th. What could have been for Toro Rosso if they decided to not fight me and try and do a one-stop, because Haryanto just about came outside the points, and the Toro Rossos, they were in front. They did win into the points come the end of the race, with Carmen Jordan finishing down in 18th, and Daniel Kvyat did actually retire from the Grand Prix, along with our teammate Robbie Kubica. I didn't even realise that when looking back through the order of the race. Our teammate wasn't even anywhere to be seen because he retired from the Grand Prix, so maybe that's why the team brought him in early to try and change his tyres, try and do something to try and fix this car, but clearly whatever it was a terminal problem. So with that race victory, Fernando Alonso now moves to the top of the driver standings on 65 points, 18 points clear of our teammate Robbie Kubica with his no score. Alonso's almost a race victory clear now at the top of the standings, with Vettel getting right up into the thick of things now in P3 with 41 points, 2 points clear of Hamilton. He drops down to 4th on 39, but he's joint on points with Verstappen, because Verstappen is yet to actually win a race in his career, let alone this season. We've got Hamilton ahead. Charles Leclerc drops down to 6th on 30 points, 2 points clear of us. We're up into 7th on 28, joined with Mick Schumacher, but then again also on better result, we're ahead of Mick Schumacher. We've got Daniel Kvyat all the way down in P9, only on 26 points. What could have been for Kvyat if he just got a rub of the green. He's only 1 point clear of Adrian Sutter, who's in 10th place on 25 points, with Pascal Wehrlein finally getting into the top 12 on 19 points, 1 point clear of Kamui Kobayashi, who runs off the top 12 on 18. Despite a great point score for Hulkenberg in this race, he still can't get into the top 12 in 13th place, with Lawrence Stroll down in 14th on 16 points, joined with Charles Leclerc. But again, Lawrence Stroll has a second place to his name amazingly this season compared to Charles Leclerc's P3, which is not a sentence I thought I'd be saying at the start of the season. And we have Daniel Ricciardo in 16th on 8 points, Rio Hayato running off the point scorers so far in 17th with 2, leaving both Toro Rossos of Gasly and Sainz and Carmen Jorda yet to score. And finally, moving on to the constructor standings, and Mercedes now move to the top of the table on 84 points, 9 points clear of Williams after our shocker of a result in terms of points scored here in this race. And the Scuderia get up into P3 on 70 points, 5 points clear of Red Bull, they're in 4th on 65, and Red Bull are now only 8 points clear of Toyota, who is slowly creeping up to them now in P5. We have Haas in P6 on 43 points, but are only 2 points clear of Sauber, who are in 7th with 41 points. And at this rate, they're going to easily just destroy their 2016. Well, they've already beat that. It's the 2015 points tally, which I think is about 60, just over 60 points. And it is going to smash that at this rate. They had a pretty good car in 2015 as well. You have Renault in the no man's land of their own now, in P8 on 26 points. Then we have McLaren in 9th on 2. And Toro Rosso with some bad strategies here, led to them still being on 0 points. So remember to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Also vote for your driver of the day with the poll link that will be in the video description. Also check out the wiki for this series, which will be linked in the description down below as well. It's updated after every race, so you want all the insights and that for this season, previous seasons, all the drivers' teams, current teams, past teams. Maybe a sneak peek of what's coming up in next season as well. If you can check that out. If you fancy reading, also follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. They'll be linked down in the description below. Everything's linked in the description down below, I just realised. And also, don't hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, any of this series and all my other series I upload as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.